Let's dive right into this cinematic thought experiment. Today, we're exploring the ultimate alternate history based on some truly fascinating source material. We're asking one of the biggest what ifs in the history of our planet. It's a scenario that literally rewrites biology, reshapes our entire world, and challenges everything we know about our own existence. Imagine looking up at the sky 66 million years ago. The Earth is this lush, vibrant greenhouse world completely dominated by giant reptiles. Now, in our reality, a 6-mile wide asteroid slams into the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashing apocalyptic devastation and wiping out roughly 75% of all life, including the non-avian dinosaurs. But what if it didn't? Imagine that giant rock is just, say, a few fractions of a degree off course. It sails harmlessly past Earth, just a spectacular shooting star fading into the dark, and leaves the terrestrial status quo completely uninterrupted. We can actually map this divergence point really clearly. We start with the Cretaceous period as we know it, then hit that critical moment 66 million years ago where the asteroid just misses, leading us to a staggering result, an entirely unrecognizable modern era. By looking at how a single cosmic miss creates this massive butterfly effect, we can scientifically extrapolate an alternate Earth. Section 1. The day the asteroid missed. Let's look at the immediate aftermath of this cosmic near miss. Notice the stark contrast between our mammalian reality and an unbroken Saurian reign. Think about our real Earth. The impact kicks up a massive dust cloud, blocks out the sun, and triggers a global winter. That starves the giant herbivores and right after them, the carnivores. But on the alternate Earth, the sun just keeps shining, the plants keep growing, dinosaur evolution continues uninterrupted for another 66 million years. I mean, think about it. The T-Rex was closer in time to the iPhone than to the Stegosaurus. You give them another 66 million years, and the evolutionary possibilities are absolutely endless. Section 2. Mammals and human evolution. Let's see how this builds massive evolutionary roadblocks for our own ancestors. So, under the feet of these giants, would humans actually still evolve? In our timeline, the extinction of the dinosaurs was the ultimate opportunity. It totally cleared the board. But in this alternate timeline, those top ecological niches are never vacated. Mammals are constantly suppressed by dominant, highly adapted dinosaur predators. Basically, the top of the food chain is an exclusive club, and mammals are definitely not on the guest list. Which brings us to the crucial point, the mammalian squeeze. Without that massive power vacuum left by the asteroid, our ancestors would have been locked into their prehistoric roles. They'd be small, nocturnal, rodent-like scavengers, just scurrying in the shadows, trying really hard not to get crushed or eaten. The evolutionary leap from a tiny shrew-like creature to a bipedal, tool-wielding primate requires space and resources that just wouldn't be available. Meaning, well, you, me, and humanity as we know it, we'd probably never exist. Section 3. Modern dinosaur species. So, if mammals stayed small, what would modern dinosaur species look like after millions of years of adaptation? You see, dinosaurs wouldn't just stay frozen in time like the skeletons we see in museums. The Earth went through massive changes. Continents shifted, temperatures plummeted, ice ages came and went. To survive all that, dinosaurs would have to adapt. A lot of them would develop incredibly thick, insulating plumage, so picture giant, fluffy theropods trekking through deep snow. Others might shrink down to survive on less food during climate shifts, while some might grow even larger. They would diversify and absolutely rule today's food chains. Let's break down exactly how these modern food chains would look. Take the large herbivore niche. Instead of elephants or cows, you'd have grazing neoceratopsians, highly evolved descendants of the triceratops, maybe with even more complex horn arrays for processing modern plants. As for the apex predator, that clunky T-Rex evolves into sleek, highly intelligent, pack-hunting theropods that can chase down much faster modern prey. And up in the sky, instead of vultures or eagles, you've got highly evolved modern winged reptiles dominating the avian scavenger role. Section 4. Living in a dino world. Now, just for the sake of a fun thought experiment, let's say humans actually did miraculously evolve alongside these creatures. Think about your daily commute for a second. Now picture waiting at a crosswalk, but not for a bus. You're waiting for a 50-ton behemoth of a sauropod to slowly lumber past. You definitely can't just hunk at it. The sheer logistical marvel of building a civilization where leviathans roam free is staggering. Literally everything about human society would have to be fundamentally redesigned around the absolute dominance of local megafauna. The engineering scale required for that is wild. First off, ground-level suburbs, they wouldn't exist.
We'd need massive fortified architectural walls just to keep a wandering herbivore from accidentally leveling an entire neighborhood. Second, transportation would have to go up. We'd be building elevated rail networks and sky bridges to avoid ground-level traffic jams caused by migrating herds. And third, the agricultural scale. To farm giant livestock, you'd need industrial-level agriculture just to keep a single domesticated dinosaur fed. It would completely redefine the concept of a big steak dinner. Section 5. Intelligent Dinosaur Societies. Let's pivot to an even wilder sociological thought experiment. What if dinosaurs became the dominant intelligence instead of us? To wrap our heads around this, we actually need to ground this wild concept in real biological science. Convergent evolution is the phenomenon where entirely different species facing similar environmental challenges develop similar solutions completely independently. Think of how both birds and bats developed wings. If a small, agile dinosaur species needed to manipulate its environment, it's entirely scientifically feasible that over tens of millions of years, they could evolve larger brains, a more upright posture to free up their front limbs, and eventually, the capacity for complex tool use. So think about the contrast here. Human technology is perfectly tailored to us. Touch screens for soft fingertips, tools for opposable thumbs, screens calibrated from a million-color vision. But saurian technology? It would look completely alien. Imagine keyboards designed to be struck by heavy claws, vehicles engineered with elongated snouts and heavy tails in mind, architecture totally tailored for creatures with tough reptilian scales and vastly different thermal requirements. We'd be looking at a world of saurian scholars, a highly advanced society built entirely by the big-brained descendants of theropods. Imagine them building telescopes to look at the stars, constructing massive cities, and, yes, conducting archaeology. Picture a brilliant, bespectacled raptor descendant carefully brushing the dirt off a tiny, primitive mammal fossil, theorizing about those insignificant little creatures that used to scurry beneath their ancestors' feet. Section 6. The Fragility of Fate. As we wrap up this explainer, we need to pull back and look at the profound philosophical weight of this alternate timeline. Because at the center of all this, separating our reality from a world of intelligent theropods and massive walled cities, is the number one single solitary rock in the vast, unimaginable emptiness of space. This quote perfectly captures the magnitude of that event. It highlights just how deeply one brief cosmic moment dictated the reality of our ecosystems, the rise of mammals, the eventual dawn of human civilization, and our very existence. If that trajectory was altered by even a fraction of a millimeter deep in space millions of years prior, we simply would not be here having this conversation. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look at the world around you. The cities, the mammalian life, the screen you're watching right now. It's all the result of a near-miss turned direct hit. Are we really the pinnacle of evolution, or just the extraordinarily lucky winners of a cosmic coin toss? It definitely makes you appreciate the fragile, beautiful, incredibly unlikely reality we actually live in. Keep questioning the world around you, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.